Hello, this is Jen Mitchell Love from Solace Divorce Mediation, day 3 of lives. And today I want to talk about the fluidity of relationship. And I think, looking at the work that I do at Solace as a legal mediator, being in this space of being a family law attorney for the last 20 years, this is really what I see the work that I'm doing now, which is helping people shift from one relationship space to another that feels good to both people involved and to children, their children, and their extended family and circles of friends. And I think one of the main kind of topics that I talk about with my clients is this concept of fluidity of relationship. Recognizing that when you are in a relationship with another person, it is meant to be very fluid. It's not meant to be so tight. And I think the old kind of way of looking at marriage and looking at divorce kind of mirrored that tightness, where it was like, okay, either you are in love and you are married, or you get a divorce and you hate each other. But the reality is there's so many types of relationship and so many forms of love that it doesn't just need to be one thing or the other. And another thing I coach my clients on at Solace is that every person comes into your life exactly as they're meant to. So, exactly when they're meant to come in, for all of the reasons that they do come in. And the relationship in the container of marriage is a very, very strong soul contract, which means your spouse is the only person that could come in and teach you the things that you were meant to learn from that person. Just like friendships you have, other romantic relationships that you have had in your life. And when we can look at relationship from that way, where we're like, okay, I'm in this relationship with this other person and vice versa. And, while being in this relationship, the way that I can best serve is being my most authentic self and being completely honest in what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. And, same for my partner. And when we can recognize that we're both here to learn from each other and we're both here to heal from each other and grow from each other, I think if we could make that shift, then it removes that need to fit into a box and be labeled and, have the relationship be right, wrong, good, or bad. So I encourage you to explore this concept of relationship. And when we can make that shift, when we can make the shift to see, okay, relationships are not meant to be containers. They're not meant to be cages. They're not meant to hold us in one space while, we are wanting to grow. Love is not static. People evolve, needs evolve, and the relationship evolves. And so the fluidity in relationship doesn't mean that any form of the relationship was a failure. It just means that the relationship reached a certain point where it was not serving anymore. So, in the container of marriage, it isn't serving anymore in that container of marriage. Both people are not getting what they need, what they desire, what they want, what they deserve from the marriage. And so that doesn't mean that it's a failure. It just means that the relationship in that space has been completed. Everything that you were meant to learn from each other has been learned. And now we're shifting into another space of relationship because there's so many types of relationships and so many forms of love. And I think if we can make this shift together in relationship, the way we're looking at relationship, instead of relationship changes being so painful and so difficult, which it is, they are painful. That, a shift in relationship is painful and it is difficult. And I'll do more videos on that moving forward. But we can look at this change as, instead of it being, a failure or a shameful thing or something that was like the worst thing that happened in your whole entire life, we can look at it from another space and recognize, okay, wait a minute, that relationship in that space was complete. And when we shifted into this new space, it did feel better. And that then enables you to really go deep and ask yourself, okay, what was I meant to learn from this space? And what was this person teaching me? And kind of going through the whole mirror exercise that I have posted in the Solace University, which is solaceuniversity.com. But you can do that exercise and then you can start to understand more. Okay, so this is what I was meant to learn in this space. And it's not that the relationship is ending, it's just transforming into another space. And for all of you out there who are going through divorce with children, one thing that I really want to really share with you deeply and really have it resonate with you is, if you are going through a divorce and you have children, you are always going to be in a relationship with your co-parent. And if we can shift to this space of having relationship being very fluid, it will make it a lot easier for the two of you as the parents of the children to have very, very honest and open, beautiful conversations of, okay, what do we want this next space of relationship to look like? What do we want it to feel like? How do we want our kids to feel in this space? And that's the beauty of seeing relationships as being very fluid and very adaptable. And as long as each of you are being honest, you can find a space that feels good. And the space that you shift to after marriage, the space you shift to next, doesn't mean that that has to be forever either. So just know this is a continual evolution. You are learning, you are healing, you are growing, your energy vibration is changing. And as your vibration changes, everything in your external world will change as well. More videos on that to come as well. So have a beautiful, beautiful day. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you tomorrow. Mwah.